I think you forget he was a businessman before ever venturing into politics. He's got towers all over the world, so of course he's going to take investment from people in Moscow for his towers and business ventures and so on. And also with regards to the vaccines, I mean, he's still now, to the detriment of his own supporters, some who are very clearly anti-vaccine, calls himself the father of the vaccines. He delivered Operation
He calls himself the father of IVF. He calls himself the father of everything. What Donald Trump says is not reality. This is a person who did not respond to the pandemic within months and at the expense of his own voters, by the way. Conservative voters in Florida were dying at a rate, older voters in Florida were dying at a rate much larger than the rest of the country. I mean, he has a problem with truth. He has a problem in terms of keeping this working class image. But this is a man who, of course, whose great grandfather, he talks about not wanting to be part of this Nazi rhetoric that's been put out there, but his grandfather was aligned with the Nazi party. I'm sorry. As a Democrat.
Are you talking about Donald Trump?
Yeah, his father, Fred Trump. My mentor, I'm gonna give you a little lesson here. My mentor was a man named Wayne Barrett. Now, this is important. Wayne Barrett was the first person to ever write a story on Donald Trump. Donald Trump in New York. He was a famed investigative reporter. He wrote a book on Donald Trump and the rise of Donald Trump and 2 on Rudy Giuliani. And that was as far back as the early 1980s. This is not new information.
I'm sorry, that's not true. You're saying Donald Trump's grandfather was associated with the Nazi party?
Yeah.
I mean, it's absolutely not true. Sorry.
100% true. This has been documented. I mean, but this is really important. I think people for a foreign audience does not know that people like myself, a New Yorker, who is trained and educated by the first reporter on Donald Trump, and Fred Trump, by the way, who died the day before Donald Trump was inaugurated, who Roger Stone himself said he would piss on the grave of this man. This is a person who knew about this far back. We as a society need to acknowledge this. Donald Trump, just because the Mueller report got dismissed in Congress does not mean it's true.
The Russia collusion hoax. I respect you for coming on, but I do struggle to take anything you say seriously because you mentioned his links with Russia. The Russian collusion hoax was paid for by the Clinton campaign. It was
no, that's a report. That's a report. And a report being paid by
Steele dossier. I'm talking about the Steele dossier. The Mueller investigation. Absolute nonsense as well. Cleared on all charges. Russia. Absolute BS.
It's not nonsense. It's something that in a congressional hearing did not move forward. Does not mean that it's not true. And that's something that the right